I grew up in India, and the best way I could define my childhood is one of me being a outgoing, confident, and a happy child. Life seemed simple, um, but around the age of 10, something happened. I experienced a traumatic episode. Unfortunately, I was violated by one of the male servants in my house. And although looking back now, I know that what happened to me was of no fault of mine and that I, in fact, was a victim. I interpreted this incident very differently back then. I I believed a lie that what happened to me was, because of something I'd done. And the worst thing that happened through that incident was that fear gripped itself on me. It just came in like something huge and latched itself on me, and I just could not operate without the fear. My once simple and happy childhood ended up being one where I would despair day in and day out. I struggled with loneliness, and I wasn't even able to share what happened to me with my family or my parents. I was harboring a huge secret. The first skeleton in the closet made its entry into my life. And unfortunately for me, the perpetrator was still around my household, making it very difficult for me to establish trust. I struggled, really struggled in despair. And moving on in my adolescent years, there was this profound depression. I felt like I just had to run away, which is what I did. I made some choices that I'm not proud of, and those choices have made me reap a life of consequences. Fast forward a few years, and I was around 33, and we were living in Australia. And although on the outside life seemed fairly good, I had a good family, a seemingly successful career. On the inside, I knew that I was struggling. I was in despair, and evidently it was the ghosts of my past that were haunting me. And the depression and the fear and anxiety that I was experiencing was really incapacitating me. I felt the need to control everyone around me and made life really hard, just not on myself, but also on my family members. It came to a point where my depression, I hit rock bottom, that I wanted to just put an end to myself. Thank God he had better plans. Around that time, two people came and spoke to me about having a personal relationship with Jesus. I listened to them and I pondered about it. I decided to find a local church, and the Berwick Church of Christ was closest to where we lived. So one Tuesday evening, I walked into the church. I was greeted by a group of elders who prayed with me. They loved on me, accepted me, and supported me. And they would then invite me to do a course to explore Christianity. And again, I made the commitment to do that. And that course was amazing. It gave me all the answers on faith, religion, and purpose. And I could see that my life had started to transform. I started seeing hope. I committed my life to Jesus, and from there on, I was hungry, and I was invited to do another course called the Growing to Maturity, which is a course that helps you to find your purpose, freedom, and enables you to become a disciple of Jesus. A key component of the Growing to Maturity course is a Freedom Weekend. That weekend, when I look back now, was a moment in time where my life significantly transformed. It was an opportunity for me to go in, deal with all of the ghosts of my past, the skeletons in my closet. So I had a team of people who prayed with me for hours on end, and I was able to give my guilt, my shame, but most importantly, my fear. Something shifted supernaturally. I went into that weekend as a person who was still struggling with fear, tremendous condemnation and shame. I had no self-worth. And when I transacted with God and I gave Him all the baggage that I was carrying over the years, He not just took it away, but He replaced it with His love, His grace. And I walked away from that. And even to this day, when I look back, I know that that was the catalyst to where I am now. That weekend changed my life forever. A lot of people now look at me and comment and they say, you're a resilient, confident woman. And I think to myself, if only you knew who I was. Am I glad I listened to those people who spoke to me about the relationship with God? Am I glad that I walked in through the doors of the church? Am I glad I made a commitment to do those 2 courses? Had I not done that, one thing I know, I would have been in a state of despair, in depression, or possibly not even here.